Hello and welcome to Social Media Weekly, episode 4th August 2021. Social Media Weekly is brought to you by Virtual Palace Marketing, rehumanizing your marketing experience. My name is Sean.
My name is Jay.
This week, Snapchat launches global ad campaign. Last week, we reported that Snap is experiencing a great comeback with its greatest growth in 4 years. To take advantage of this momentum, the company has launched an international ad campaign called Open Your Snapchat, which attempts to encourage more usage. It will begin in the US, UK, and Mexico before expanding to India. So chances are it won't come to this part of the world because we're not big enough. As explained by Snapchat, Open Your Snapchat is an invitation for consumers and advertisers to fully dive into AR, unlocking hundreds of custom experiences localized to each market. The campaign will blanket billboards, buses, websites, and everything in between in numerous major cities across the globe. The company is taking full advantage of the renewed faith by investors because all of a sudden they're making a lot of money, they got a lot of growth, and investors are saying, hey, these guys are doing well. Let's push full steam ahead. And I also think that they are ready to expand globally. So a couple of years ago, I did report about them before. I said that the biggest problem Snapchat had was that they keep focusing in the US market instead of going global, right? And one of the things that they realized themselves was a problem was that because there are a lot more Android users than iOS users in the rest of the world, right? Yep. And they keep asking themselves, why can't we hit the rest of the world? Why can't we expand to the rest of the world? Why are we always stuck in the US? And one of the reasons was that their Android app was quite crappy at the time. And the main reason why the Android app was bad was because nobody in the company had an Android device. So they had no idea how bad the app was. So then what they did was, they equipped a few, like half their staff with Android devices. And then they start to upgrade the Android devices, the apps, because this guy started using it like, hey, this thing doesn't work, fix it. That doesn't work, fix it, right? And then the Android app started becoming better. And then people start using, more Android users started using Snapchat again.
Okay. Actually, that's good though. Like for me, essentially, I think with the previous podcast we had, I did mention that I do not use Snapchat. The only time that I actually ever used Snapchat was when I took my friend's phone, and it was to use to actually view news. But I really like the initiative that Snapchat is doing, especially right now, during this time of period, because honestly, for me, I did not expect Snapchat to come back, to have a rebound back. But the rebound looks very promising to me. Essentially, I might probably just download Snapchat just to actually see what's up right now, though. And with this, it makes things more interesting. Like, why not? That's the question at this point.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I think I also reported this. I think it was a month or two ago, Snapchat actually bought this company that is able to use AR to map out actual buildings, landmarks, like the Eiffel Tower or the Buckingham Palace or the Twin Towers of KL. So what they do is they bought over this company that was able to do this. They're using crowdsourcing, in a sense that if there are 1 million people taking 1 million different angles of the Eiffel Tower every day, they source all these images and build a 3D rendition of the Eiffel Tower. And then they port this rendition over to Snapchat's AR, the augmented reality tool, and let creators create filters and stickers and fun stuff to attach it onto the Eiffel Tower. So when you go and use the AR on the Eiffel Tower, this AR works exactly with the Eiffel Tower and only with the Eiffel Tower. And this works with a lot of landmarks around the world.
That's very interactive though. I mean, I would honestly, if that's the case, I would be hooked onto it, doing different things at the Eiffel Tower itself. WhatsApp drops 2 more new features. WhatsApp now is on a roll bringing features that we all want. one of the two new features that they introduced in archive and muted chats that will never bug you again until you remove them from their list. We have all had those chat groups that you always just wanted to exit, but now felt too shy to do so because you don't want to offend anybody else. Just be careful, because those archive and muted chats will not show you any notifications anymore. So essentially, I guess with this new app, with this new feature, so any or I don't want to mention names, but those group chats which you have good morning messages a bit too frequent, it's a bit disturbing and annoying at times. So I guess this new feature is really going to be helpful for me personally. I don't know what about you guys.
No, I think
yeah,
I think the thing is, okay, Jay, see, the thing is, right, if WhatsApp had to come out with a feature that lets people forever mute a chat group, that means enough people have had this problem.
Yep, true.
So
makes sense.
I believe everybody has these chat groups that they are so annoyed to be a part of, but they don't want to exit because they are afraid of offending someone.
Yep.
Right. And they feel like they don't want to be caught in their attention. Like they leave the chat group and all of a sudden people will ask, hey, why are you leaving the chat group? Why is this, why is that? And you can't say that you're annoyed with some people there because that's just how they are and it's better for you to step away. So instead of causing a scene, just archive and mute it and never see it again.
Yep, exactly though. It's so much more easier. So yeah, then WhatsApp has another new feature. Another one is the view once, disappearing photos and videos, like what we get on Instagram, and which was already properized by Snapchat as well. So this is, for me personally, I don't really, if let's just say for me, I want to send a picture, I'll just send a picture. So the view once only, I guess probably like those important details that you guys just want to see one-off kind of thing. I guess it's a good thing as well. What do you think about this, Sean? For me personally, I feel it is good. It's something new. Despite all the other platforms has it, but I guess it's a good thing for WhatsApp, especially because it's more of a message-centric platform, I would say. What about you?
I think for me personally, the biggest problem I have with WhatsApp is managing all the downloaded videos and images that come in, because okay, as of earlier this year, as of I think May or June, I forgot, Google Photos stopped offering unlimited photo storage, right? So which means that we will all need to learn how to manage our cloud photos and videos. And the last thing we want is for all these unnecessary WhatsApp content, right, to be uploaded onto Google Photos, and then you have to go in every day to delete them because now your storage, now your storage is limited, right? So having all this view once is good because some content can be kept for a later time, but some content is just a one-off. So but then it comes down to us, right? We need to decide which is a one-off and which can be kept for a long time. So if it's a one-off, just send a view once and it will not be kept on your phone. You see it that one time and it goes away. That's it. So it helps us better curate and cull our storage, manage our storage better. That's how I see it.
Actually, I feel that's very good. I think those auntie uncles also would benefit this a lot, especially when they send good morning messages. Probably it's just a one-off thing instead of having it by storage.
Exactly. So imagine if you have, if every single good morning message that comes to you on a Google, on a WhatsApp group, right?
Yep.
Every day you get 3 or 4 or 5, right? And you multiply that by 30 days. And imagine how many of all these unnecessary photos you have on your Google Photos uploaded onto the cloud. And every day you have to go in and you have to
clear everything out
of the way. If they know how to set it as a one-off, if they know how to send it as a one-off, that's the important thing. If you know how to send it as a one-off,
correct.
They will send It was something that's a one-off, and you see it at one time, 3 seconds gone, and it will not clutter up your chat thread, and it will not clutter up your storage, it will not clutter up your Google Photos. Everybody's happy. They're happy
Correct.
because they managed to send it out. Because sometimes they
True.
just want to send something out, right? So, yeah, to me that is where it matters. Yeah.
I actually kind of like. I really kind of like this new feature. And then once I came about it, I am really like, thank you for hearing my issues. All right, next, up to you.
Clubhouse sees increase in usage, seeing as they just released its Android app not too long ago and removed the invite-only barrier to entry. It only makes sense that the user adoption will spike again. Android makes up more than 80% of the world's smart devices, especially in emerging markets where every major social platform wants a foothold on. In order to adapt to this growth, Clubhouse has announced its weekly town hall meeting that it will facilitate 600,000 rooms per day, double its size from May. Due to the increase in the number of rooms, they will be required to improve on the notifications in order to show us more relevant ones rather than stuffing them all down. Okay, one thing I find Clubhouse has always been very bad at is how it's able to kind of like suggest us rooms based on our interest. This is something that they really need to work on. I don't blame them because they're a new company and all that, and they haven't found the algorithm to make this work yet. As compared to other social platforms like Facebook and Instagram, they're so good at this. We can never leave Instagram and Facebook because they keep showing us things that they think we want to see, and they're so accurate at that. So Clubhouse is very bad at this. And if they were to facilitate 600,000 rooms per day, we can't possibly be seeing everything. There will be like maybe 99.9% of rooms that we may be interested in that falls off the crack, right? So they need to work hard at coming up with this better notification and suggestion platform. So the next one is that it has also launched an Indian-specific creator funding to help fuel its growth in the country. Everybody wants to go to India now. It is the fastest growing market in terms of digital adoption in the world. And the way Clubhouse can work is that that country itself has over 121 spoken languages, and more people understand it by ear than by text. So it makes sense. Instead of writing it down, you speak it out. So it makes sense as a better social platform. And this is not just in India. It also works in most parts of Asia as well, because Asia is the part of the world with more languages compared to the rest of the world. Like in China, you have a ton of dialects. Vietnam is one language. Cambodia is one language. So every single country has a different language compared to, say, in the US, it's just one language. Most parts of Europe, it's, they use maybe 3 languages. So this is where platforms like Clubhouse really work. Finally,
the diversity.
Yeah. And I think this is where they Clubhouse and also other audio social platforms can really push themselves. And finally, club management will see the removal of follower level users, where all normal users will be under the members level. This is just like the kind of like managing the different tiers of membership. They're also adding a leader's role to help maximize club engagement by being able to start room and schedule events. Of course, the admin level will still be there. So what do you think?
I mean, like, there's a lot of new things coming up with Clubhouse, especially. I mean, like, so far right now, we have the, like, even for me, I'm looking like they're also adding leaders as a role. So I'm just wondering how are they going to do it? Like, essentially, like, even with the backhand channel, they came up with it. That was really done good. But like, personally, for me, there's a lot of things that's coming up. So I'm just going to see how they're going to adapt to it. For me as a user, usually I would want to see my user experience first. I like where they're going with this, but I need to feel it first. Whether is there anything that could have been better? Is there anything lacking? Essentially. But yeah, I'm looking forward for this for me, since I am a frequent Clubhouse user,
Mm.
and I agree with you, especially on the algorithm part, because I am not kidding. Like, there's been times whereby there's some certain rooms, like right on my third suggested list, it's Arabic. Like, I know I look Arabic, but no, no, that's
Yeah.
not the room that I'm looking for. So I guess essentially, like, the algorithm, especially to see what we really want to hear and listen, that they really need to fix on. I really agree with that. But
Yeah.
yeah, essentially, I'm really looking forward to what Clubhouse is going to give more, and I really want to see how they're going to pull this off as well. All right, so
Yes, I agree with you.
next, Zoom fined for $85 million. Damn, that's a lot of money. The popular video conferencing app settled a lawsuit by paying $85 million for violating users' privacy. Users also accused it for sharing personal data with Facebook, Google, and LinkedIn. Wow. Okay. On another safety measure, the company agreed to implement, including alerting users when meeting hosts or participants use third-party applications and paying special attention to avoiding a practice where external users hijack Zoom meetings and display inappropriate content. I so far, thankfully, I have not experienced any one of this. But I think I remember last week we were just talking about like how LinkedIn and their privacy as well. And now, right now, Zoom is having that issue.
Well, Zoom has
Like-
actually had it. Zoom has actually been having this since this security problem since they started off. Since it became a thing in 2020. Zoom has been a very small video conferencing platform. And since lockdowns happened, right, it became the default video conferencing platform that everyone use. And because they're not used to this kind of attention and usage, they don't have the security measures to handle it, especially for the enterprise. So then these people will do what? They will randomly go into Zoom meetings and they will display inappropriate content. So it's called Zoom bombing. So you go in and you just display some. There were times when I think there was this instance when a school was having a class, right? And then these guys will go in there, class, full of kids, virtual class full of kids. They will go in there and they display porno. So it was very inappropriate to display porn and everything in front of the kids, but that is what Zoom bombing is. So then it actually got them to do something about the security.
Yo, but that's scary though. Just imagine suddenly something just pops out and like out of nowhere,
you will get strangers there because video conferencing, right? There is supposed to be a function that puts people in a holding room. So when you put people in a holding room, it's kind of like a gate. They say, okay, who are you? Can you verify that you are the person, right? And then if they can verify, then you let them in. And then they have password as well. So if you know the password, let you in. Now, all Zoom calls must have a password. Last time it was optional.
Yep.
So anybody can go into any Zoom call randomly and anonymously and do whatever you want.
That's kind of creepy though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's damn scary. Like, just imagine some celebrity having a Zoom call. You just bump in there, off your screen, just watch her.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
damn creepy.
So,
okay,
although it's the most widely used video conferencing platform, I think now it's a lot better. But yeah, it used to be quite bad.
I guess they improve, because the hype with Zoom came about was since 2020. I mean, during the lockdown, essentially. But for me, I would say that they pioneered during that time, and there was a lot of issues during that time, and they got better out of it essentially. And I think they're still getting better. I believe that we should give Zoom a chance and let them figure things out. And I wouldn't be surprised that later on we probably might just be using Zoom only. Like, for Zoom is just going to be anytime when you think about video conferencing, first thing you come up to your head is Zoom, because you know for a fact that they are good with all of this. They are improving in all of this. So I guess it's a settle back essentially. But since the beginning of 2020, when the world was sent in a lockdown, businesses and consumers has flocked to Zoom to stay in touch. This to this lead to the scrappy company being thrown into the debt to deep end pool and unable to handle the high security nightmare that was ensured. So it's quite sad because from what I know personally, Zoom did try to find investors for their whole platform and it was rejected badly and nobody wanted to take them up until the lockdown happened. Then people realized that crap, this is essential. This is a need for a lot of people. We should have started it, and only now people are taking it up. So I'm not surprised that Zoom is facing all of this, but I always believe that embrace your failures, because with failures at least you get better progress essentially. So I guess they're embracing their failures right now. I'm looking forward to what Zoom has though.
Yeah. So what I can say is maybe 2 years ago, 85 million would have been very difficult for Zoom to cough up. Now, some change for them. They can just
pocket money lah.
Yeah, it's just pocket money for them. They're so rich now. Anyway, speaking of rich, LinkedIn is now a $10 billion a year business. The recent earnings report for the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2021 announced that LinkedIn increased in income by 46% compared to last year, making it a $10 billion a year company. Congratulations, LinkedIn. This increase is thanks to higher demands for advertising on marketing solutions, which has grown a whopping 97% year over year. This makes LinkedIn the third pillar in achieving revenue of $10 billion for Microsoft, a title only their security and video game segments have obtained. Remember, Microsoft bought LinkedIn in 2016 for $26.2 billion. Wow. Talk about a good investment.
Those are exactly, these are big money.
Yeah. So let's
I'm so glad that actually LinkedIn is coming up, especially, remember how it started, like everybody is saying it's the Facebook for business.
Yeah. So just want to recap what Microsoft did with LinkedIn that brought it into a very successful platform that it is. Previously, LinkedIn they were just trying to be the Facebook for professionals, right? And then when Microsoft bought over, they transformed it into something else. They transformed it into not just a resume to getting jobs, but also a place to get educated. So they bought over a company that educates people and then provides certificates. It's called Linda. So, and then they also provide the special platforms for training. You know how HR departments always want to train new staff and they have like a list of all these things that they want to teach them, right? LinkedIn can facilitate these things. And they became the de facto recruitment site now. I mean, people no longer use JobStreet to look for jobs. They use LinkedIn to look for jobs. So that is how it has become now. And I think Microsoft has been a very, very good thing for LinkedIn.
They did a lot of things. They did a lot of changes essentially. But damn, LinkedIn, like compare from what they were back then and what they were now. Props to you, LinkedIn. You're doing well.
Yep. All right, folks, that's all for Social Media Weekly this week. Social Media Weekly podcast is available on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Our full videos are available on YouTube, and we post bits and clips on Instagram and Facebook. If you like Social Media Weekly, it would really help if you could rate and review it on the podcast feed of your choice and YouTube, so more can discover it. Social Media Weekly is on a lookout for more regular co-hosts to help us bring some depth to the show. If you're interested, simply drop me an email at Shawn, that's SHAWN, at virtualpeddlers.com. That is Social Media Weekly episode 4th August 2021. My name is Shawn.
My name is Jay, and take care. See you guys next week.
See you. Bye-bye.